now.
Michael, is this how you're going to do right now?
Hey, look, there we go. That's us.
Oh,
my
we're live.
We're live.
All right. Hello.
Which one am I?
Sliding into home.
Mikey is here.
Michael, you're on the one. Yeah, you're on the one.
The one split up, yeah.
Yep.
The laptop is not happy.
Yeah. You're on the black laptop. And then you got your mic there. So yeah, whatever you need.
Swapping cans.
Michael's sliding into first, and we're going to go ahead and
since we're all here, we didn't need headphones tonight because I've got all the volumes turned down and everything. But if you want headphones, go for it. But hey, welcome.
It looks cool enough.
I like the delay.
What's that?
I like the delay.
Here, you like things kind of slow, right? Is that what you're telling me? So
cool, like a DJ.
So as we got started, welcome to our Saturday night live stream, which is usually a Friday night live stream. But I wasn't feeling very good last night, and Jody,
I had to host my burlesque show. My first time hosting.
And how did that go?
And I'll tell you, I wasn't ready when I was in my 20s, and apparently I wasn't ready when I was in my 30s. But I was ready when I was in my 40s. I was ready because I actually want to do it now. And before, it was just too much of a responsibility to have the pressure of leading a show, remembering names, making sure that you don't slip up and say anything awful, or that you don't say anything at all and there's dead air on the stage. So there's all kinds of things. Now, we did have difficulties, and we did have some wrong songs, things like that, where the dancer had to communicate. But it was just so awesome because everyone kept their chill and everyone was professional, and that's what I love about our community. And it was an amazing show. And the woman who had produced it, Ambrosia Rose, totally worked with her. She's honest. Oh my God, it's last night. That was pretty easy too.
Oh yeah.
That's always it's always easy. Yeah, your coworkers are but I told her, I was like, this has to be a success, man, because everything was great. Yeah. And so I had a killer time. I got to Pinky Tata was there. He was there. Quite a few of our people were there. A lot of fans as well. So have acreage, lots of money, grown, movies.
Always important.
So I feel awesome. Apparently, it's pirate crawl.
I heard that. Pirate pub crawl.
We're just not our years anymore. We lived had our years.
Did you ever do pirate?
Not as a patron. I always. That's how I do anything in this town. Is always.
I go to work it.
No, not as a patron though.
Okay.
So as a patron, I'd be like, no.
I heard a hilarious story about not pirate, but the zombie 5K, where you cosplay or dress up, like zombies, and these guys went on their own little fun run. So someone who didn't know this was going on, or he was even parked along the path, was parked on the side of the road, and coming up behind him is a herd of zombies.
Not still the narrative, but actually that has happened to me. When I was pregnant.
Oh, you're the one.
I was walking down Westchester on my loop when I was pregnant, doing my getting my exercise in, and all of a sudden I saw somebody in really terrifying makeup walk or run behind me, and I was like, okay, and then another person, and it kept going, and I couldn't tell what they were doing, but I knew I wasn't gonna die, but I did not feel safe. And so I actually hid in the trees and waited for the whole slew of them to go by because I just did not feel safe. It was not comfortable. So I feel that.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I thought you were the principal. I just remembered the story.
You know what?
I
am the principal.
If somebody's not expecting that, then
it's a little scary.
That could.
It
well,
could
yeah,
trigger
and
you.
that could could be
It was Halloween season though.
Yes.
right.
See, that's where you can absolutely
Okay,
be
I
like,
gotcha.
okay,
All right. Yeah, if it was like
That's
a
where-
random day in April,
Yeah.
maybe
You
a
just-
little something different than
that's
that.
where you practice, your piece of cues of terror, where you're like, do you shout fire? When do you shout during an earthquake?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the first one.
I know a couple of years ago that clown in the woods.
Oh my God!
Yeah, see, that was.
The Clown
Is
in
that
the
worth
Woods.
calling in or not? Because that's
The Clown in the Woods was
Man, there's
that was
there was like a
terrifying
rash of them.
time.
There's like a rash of them nationwide.
It was.
no like some
Shit.
people have like do not like clowns. I mean, clowns.
No.
Oh no, my
never-
cousin.
it never bugged me. I've
Yeah.
always,
I'm fine with them.
I'm kind of ambivalent towards clowns. Don't care one way or another. But
That'd
some
be a great
people
shirt.
do
Ambivalent
not
towards
like clowns.
Yeah, no, my
I know
cousin
a handful.
never cared
I
for
mean,
him.
There are people.
Oh, the
I-
one night I dressed up as one at Coots, one of our servers.
Yeah, you're right.
I was dressed up as a pretty freaky clown, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were. Yeah,
And that the server didn't like clowns or what?
not
Yeah,
so much.
apparently she was one of those.
I don't know, if it's the white face or the way the eyes are darker. I mean, I've just never, I guess, sat and questioned them.
That
Maybe I
smile that
should.
you know's fake.
Why do you? What's the drama about? Tell me.
So, have you ever seen Shakes the Clown?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God!
Is that a horror?
Bobcat Goldthwait?
Oh gosh, I might have.
It is it's like a B movie
Okay.
where it is messed. It's a messed up movie. It's funny as hell, but
Yeah.
like it's pretty dark, and I mean, so
Like cheap
the
gore?
opening. No. The
Okay,
opening scene is like the mom. He's like waking up the next morning after being with Florence Henderson, who was the mom from the Brady Bunch.
Oh wow! Good on you, man.
I guess
God bless
like,
America.
but it's a funny movie. I've seen it a few times, but I was
Yeah.
under the influence when I have, so I
You never
don't
seen it
remember
with fresh
exactly,
eyes.
But yeah,
Well,
it's
just as a recovering Texan growing up, we always associated clowns with rodeo for one, and rodeo even more than circus.
right.
And what is
yeah.
so? Where's the third? So clown equals rodeo. Rodeo equals a good time.
No,
Lunch,
just
barbecue?
the clowns weren't creepy like Halloween, or they weren't.
They were working
or
clowns.
yeah, I mean, just
Oh, right, gotcha.
We had working
just
clowns.
clowns for clown's sake. They worked in rodeo,
They were
Yeah.
real
or
men.
they're also in the circus. So,
Sure, yeah.
and then they were at birthdays because I remember growing up, saw them a couple times, a couple different birthday parties, but one that went around the city
Right.
was Happy to Clown. Same Mexican guy dressed up like a clown and had his illusions and tricks and put on the same show I saw probably 10 different times growing up.
Right.
Just because I was at that, well, I was just at that kid's birthday and they hired Happy. Then I met some other kid's birthday. They hired Happy. But it was a while I could sing along with the
It
show.
was like the clown you just hire for your birthday.
Yeah, and apparently Michael's
Yeah.
gone to a lot of parties. He's like, "What's up, Happy?" He's like, "What's up, Michael? How you doing? High
Yeah.
five, little buddy. High five.
Happy.
Yeah.
Hey, happy.
High five." That's kind of a creepy
That's
name
awesome.
for a clown. I haven't ventured too far into my clowning. I don't have a face. You know what I mean? Every clown has a signature face, and so I
Oh
have
yeah,
yet to
no, exactly.
discover mine. But there's, it's like you have to ask a friend to start a clown school or something. That's just not things that are established up here. We don't have a lot of established schools of art in clowning and
No.
mime and
No,
know,
we do
someday,
not.
someday when AI takes over all the jobs and we have nothing to do, we
Everybody
will
will just be a
invest.
clown.
Yeah, everybody will invest in the arts and
We had somebody that was in the clown world in our burlesque troupe there for a while.
Jackaloff.
Yes.
Yes.
Captain Jekyll.
Jackaloff. You know,
Dude.
he's an interesting dude. I had a good time with, because I decided to do an act with him. I did a duet with him, and it was a really cute duet. It was about a girl who went to a fair and wanted to go on the Ferris wheel, and she couldn't because you had to have two people.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
had to find a fella,
Mhm.
and it took a real long time for me to find a fella because apparently I'm not pretty enough, so I take my clothes off, and I still can't find a fella. So I grab his character, and I'm like, "You're coming up with me," and I'm naked. So he's like, "Okay." So we pretend to go up the Ferris wheel, and we're just like actors. We're just going
Right.
like
Yeah.
this,
Exactly.
just completely pantomime. But I have an umbrella, and so each time I'm thinking I'm going to go in for a kiss, but then he gets nauseous because of the height, and so I'm like, okay, never mind. And the next time that we go back up, we flip it. The third time I can't remember, but like he has to take off my clothes as I'm under the umbrella, and so quite a vulnerable position. But he was appropriate with me. I think he could tell that I was a good girl, even though I was. It's like I'm still I'm a lady. I'm a good girl, even in burlesque. I can't help it, and he will mind himself.
No, that's
So I felt that
that's always important, and I think
But as a partner, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look at this way. 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 I look at this way.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Well, and then who was it? Oh, do you remember the awesome performer we had? Megan.
Oh, right. Yeah,
she was clown.
She was clown too. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
She did stilts. We did a great number together where I was a puppet and she was a puppet master. And she was on stilts.
Oh my gosh, that was
those were the heydays of burlesque because we were doing shows with the Snow Goose, and we had this huge stage where we had Megan do. You had to be a fucking tightrope, man. Do you remember that?
Oh
you
yeah.
And Frank had to be in the tightrope.
Yeah, we had Nate at one point in time.
You're just standing there. And
oh
she's
yeah.
Walking on. You guys.
Yeah, and then she had that whole get up where that.
Then we did the Nutcracker show
and the whole thing.
where Amanda and I were underneath her skirt.
Oh my god! Oh, and she was on the stilts.
And she was on the
that
stilts.
One, right? Yes.
Holy
and
moly!
Run back underneath. Oh my god, that was.
What was it? Nona that did the spider, where the web was like it might as well have been a fishing net.
Well, it was. She did spider. Oh, she did the television show where she had this giant television.
Oh man, and that was at Bernie's.
That was Bernie's.
She did that at Bernie's, and so we had to hide that freaking thing behind the curtain, and somehow like pull it out. I mean, yeah, she was like the prop queen.
Those were the days where Michael and all the guys were dragging these. Because Michael had to drag Nona stuff too, because Nona and I were working together. So Michael was basically the pony boy for both of us.
Right.
Yeah. Because she would.
Plus they were baking them in the apartment, you know, right there in the living room.
Yeah, there were so many times where it was just so funny. It's wonderful to have your group of people that you're doing this with. I've had so many times where I say I forgot a pair of panties for a show, and I'd like Rob or Tommy. I'm like, go to my house and go in my drawer.
Oh my god, yeah. I remember
a
couple times.
Or grab them for my husband, please. Stuff. And it's just such a bro. It's a privileged world of bros that get to have this fun. If you're a good dude, it's a good time.
Nope, I definitely remember a few times having to go over to the house to grab something.
I don't want to like wake up grandma or something when she was alive.
Right. I think one of the times was underwear.
It was like I think it was a Barbie. It was underwear. When you're a princess that everybody loves, you milk that.
Mm-hmm.
you have friends when you have need. I hear good. Yeah, great times. So clowns, they're terrifying.
Yep.
On to the next thing.
Losing your face. There we go.
Now I got it.
So what was the banana thing?
I'm still not sure.
It's art. Is that what you're telling us?
Oh, is this a Michael thing? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yes. This is the story of the famous
Jody knows trends.
Who was paid a whole bunch of money to put on an art show. And so he just taped a banana to the wall, and that was his art.
Oh my goodness.
And you were either really upset or really,
right.
There was no in between, there was no middle way. And same with Philip Glass, he did the same thing. It was this huge composer, pianist. That's not funny. But anyways.
Well, it's more respectful being a flautist.
God. Or a tubist.
What about someone who plays the piccolo? They piccolist?
Am I a trumpist?
Trumpeter.
Trumpeter?
Trumpeter.
Trumpetor?
Hey, that's how
Now
we
we're getting into
Canada.
political waters.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Trumpety? I'm a trumpety.
Trumpety.
Trumpety. Oh my God, what a fun thing to say. Trumpety.
Trumpety.
Trumpety here.
Don't
and
get trumpety
trumpety
with me.
there. You know, Trump there, Trump, trumpety, Trump.
Don't you get trumpety with me?
Don't you get trumpety with me? Oh.
That's a
You
good
know,
one.
Bunny just gave me a new tagline last night. She was texting me saying I had done well, and she was like, you do well at what you do. You're a goddamn national treasure. And I was like, I need that in
Nice.
this one. Strawberry stems.
Nice.
Goddamn national treasure.
I love it.
What you do? I said, shout it from the rooftops.
We just make it the way you're introduced it from now on.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I the tastiest berry in the bunch, and a goddamn national treasure. You have to shout it really. You know, like our favorite Forrest Gump line, and that goddamn Johnson, or that son of a bitch. That son of a bitch Johnson.
Yeah, that son of a bitch Johnson.
We always, Michael and I pull from Forrest Gump a lot when we have our, you know how everybody has their marriage language, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Michael and I have
Definitely.
strong. Michael and I have
Forrest Gump.
strong
Forrest
marriage
Gump,
language.
That's an iconic movie.
I mean, dead ice cream.
Just think of a completely original idea.
Oh, I
completely
love it.
Original movie.
I love
just-
And done so well. I mean,
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
Just-
The music,
absolutely.
the way they included him in those old, already, newsreels.
and
Oh God, I know.
this was in an age where that was art in filmmaking. You know, there was no effing or anything like that. This was
No.
completely art that people were
Right.
using.
I mean,
exactly.
And the way that we
Exactly.
I mean, it's
film.
one thing to do an old movie and say, hey, it's 1914 or whatever. It's another thing to actually have the guy talking to President Kennedy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh right. Exactly.
Not a guy acting like President Kennedy.
Well, I went
No,
to the
right?
White House again.
Again. Oh my God.
Now, Tom Hanks, he's a goddamn national treasure. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, he's an actor. It's all fake.
I'm watching Dragnet, and it's fun watching Dan Aykroyd because I'm a cinephile or cinephile.
Careful, there. We're over internet.
I don't want to get on some legislation board that's denying me my right to Pornhub or anything. No, I'm a cinephile. I love films and I devour them, so I watch 2 to 3 a day or so. But I was watching Driving Miss Daisy last night, watching Mr. Dan Aykroyd, and then I'm watching Dragnet on my breaks at lunch, or on my breaks at school. Yeah, and he's completely different in this. So I'm just enjoying a great Dan Aykroyd week, apparently. But also Tom Hanks. I just watched Money Pit, and
Wow.
damn it, I love that man.
Nope. He's a goddamn national
Goddamn
treasure.
national treasure. That's all we have to say about
I'm
that.
telling you.
And that's all I have to say about that. Awesome.
So, all right. Well,
There's been a lot of news this week.
Well, I got to segue for news that something she had just mentioned.
okay.
About being on the internet. Did you hear about the state rep or a person running for a state position in Virginia? I think it was.
Oh.
That put something out with her husband, some
Yes.
sexy time for bed. And I heard some more details that she was putting herself out there as sex work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This?
Online, yeah. But she's blaming the opposing political party for outing her and basically using it as, campaign mud against her.
So
And
I have
talk
an
about
only
an invasion of
here.
privacy.
Right. Yep.
And it's like, you put it on the internet yourself. It can't
Yeah,
be an
that's-
invasion of your
that's
privacy.
where-
That's
It's
exactly.
not
I mean,
password protected.
I mean, yeah.
She put it out for sale, and the buyer
is
can
it
do whatever they
leak?
want after they bought it.
Would you call that a leak, or would you call that, just a hey, did you know? An FYI. Would you call that a leak,
It's
or would
not
you
a
call that an
revenge-
FYI?
Right. It is.
Revenge
This is
porn.
her right now. Yeah, no, that's right. Like, she put it online. She did this. She put it online.
Sure.
And then She asked people to pay. She asked people to give her money for it.
Right?
Hey, trying
yeah,
times,
like
trying
you do right
times.
now, yeah.
Now she's claiming that it's sharing of the videos is a violation of law and her privacy. Well, it's
But it's
it's a you put it out there in public. It's
Yeah.
a public thing that you put out there.
And if it's a violation of law, you did it.
Right, exactly. I mean, how is it? It's not revenge porn. I don't think anybody posted the actual videos. I think they posted and said,
Or like,
this actually
just
happened.
doing the
Right,
expose,
You
yeah.
know,
So-
reporting on the videos. It's not posting the videos, so it's not revenge porn.
right.
Yeah, a criminal
It's not like
act has
she-
occurred here, and that's the dissemination of revenge porn by a public operative.
Just fun words that people are putting.
Yeah, no,
These are
exactly. It is. It
newspaper
totally
words.
is. I mean,
If you boil this down, this is like not locker room, but water cooler gossip.
right.
You know what I mean? This is like so if we took away these high people and put them in your office people, right? So if we played The Office, we would have the fact that like my character, yeah, did this on my side job or something, my side hustle. My husband was fit, which probably would be the case. Yeah, bringing that dollar. And then if my boss's spouse found out and was trying to spread this, I could either be ashamed of it, which I hope I can be, or I could just be like, yep, that's just own it, man. People need to own things. Put it out there. Either take it down and own up to that, or defend it and own up to that. Shit. So there's no reason why she needs to play it this way. I feel like this is a play. This is play little.
But I mean,
Not the best way.
right? But
This.
so in her playing devil's advocate,
Okay, that sounds good.
this is one way to kind of point the finger back, right? It's
Absolutely.
like instead of taking responsibility for doing this, putting this out there, it's turning the tables, and then
It's already gone on the hot button right now. It's bouncing into a hot button item. I don't care what the item is. It's like, oh, it's this then.
Right. Yeah,
They
exactly.
just want to push the light away from them. And I would say you're going to have to endure your time in the spotlight anyway, so you might as well make a narrative something that you can work with.
No,
Rather
definitely.
than the victim statement. Don't do that. Don't do that. Own it. Say, yeah, you want to go there? This is this website. Make me some money. Do that.
Oh,
That's what American leaders do. Make money off of it.
You did it.
Own it. It's okay. I'm going to go look at it after we get off. Check it out myself.
There's a nail here.
Are you okay, Evan?
There's a nail right here. I've been trying to not scratch myself on.
Oh, might as well remove it then.
So I'm just looking for the extractor. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I had the tool bag out trying to get the microphone off earlier, but
Yeah.
I think tool bag.
So another thing I wanted to talk about in the news this week was, we're doing the show. We are doing the show.
We are.
Mistakes were made, and one of the plots is the government trying to coerce people into doing something illegal so they can make a case against them.
Right.
And one of the things that really that got me thinking about this whole line was the 2020 Michigan jury.
This is an interesting
Or
story.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Right?
Let's pull this open.
That thing. So this week, the last three folks.
Billy Bob. Billy Bob.
Yeah.
Billy Bob.
So the last three folks
Yes.
that were supposed to be going up against the government were acquitted. So,
Oh, we're quitting.
It's a nail. See.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Basically, the finding was pretty much that the FBI made them do it.
This was an entirely made up
Yeah.
thing from the government. The
Yeah,
government
they
made this
planted
whole
the
thing up.
seed. They watered the grass.
Can the governor
there were probably
sue
more
FBI?
there were probably more FBI people involved in this than there were actual people.
That's insane.
So these are the three guys that went.
About.
Yep. Well, Eric, William, and his twin brother Michael.
Oh, Michael.
I know, right?
I'm glad I have you, my Michael.
Yeah. So this guy named Brandon
Oh, look at
Caserta, and this is a guy named Nick Ricada, and he had him on his show a while back in and it doesn't say what date this is. Damn it. But this interview, if you guys go watch it, it's just look up Brandon Caserta and on Rumble and Nick Ricada or Ricada Law, whatever show. He goes through the whole plot. He tells the story because a couple of the folks decided to, and I don't think we can share this, but some people pleaded guilty to get a reduced sentence. Right?
Like, okay,
so there were like 14
well, this
people.
is like the witchcraft, isn't it? It's like confess and you'll go to heaven.
Well,
so if you translate that.
Defense justice or criminal defense isn't really about getting you off for your charges. It's about getting you the lowest amount of punishment that you can get. And some people when they weigh it, they're offering me this, but they're throwing the book at me if I say no to that.
Right.
You make a choice.
Well,
Fight it if you got it in your back pocket. But if you think they got the goods on you, you might want to be taking that deal. Just make 5 years, not 15.
Gotcha.
Right. So 4 of them pled guilty to try and get a lower sentence, and we're going to testify against the others.
Wow.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4.
I know there've been some
4 or 5.
convictions and
Actually
some
went
previous
to-
acquittals.
Well, they went to trial. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. 5 went to trial and were found guilty.
Okay.
But 5 other ones went to trial and were found not guilty.
Wow.
So,
That's a 50-50.
and Brandon Caserta, the guy I was telling you about just a minute ago, was one. That was one of the first trials, and he was found not guilty, by a jury.
Wow.
That realized that the government had
quickly,
such a
what?
huge hand in this thing that.
And after the first acquittal, for those reasons, I was really surprised they continued on with other defendants.
No,
I mean,
right.
Rather than using that as something to throw out.
Right,
Now,
exactly.
So here's the real question: why does the FBI want to kill this governor?
Or they just got.
I mean, if you cut through the shit, like, what's up with the FBI wanting to, like, because,
Well,
like, in our
think
show, right, they're building towards all these, like, these things, these insane plot lines. But this is an insane plot line.
Right. Well, no,
What
she was involved in it. She was all part of this.
She was part of this?
She was part of it too. Yeah. The FBI went to her and I mean, she was part of it. Her staff was part of it. They were all part of this whole thing.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Hold on. I imagine they went when they assumed a credible threat against the governor. They go let the governor or her security detail know.
Okay.
And then her involvement could be, we want you to take this route on the way home or take that route.
Sure. Okay.
I don't see a federal agency working with a state agency, especially a state executive. It just, that one rings a little too many muddy hands there.
Right.
That one rings a little too many muddy hands there.
No, there was, and I read it earlier. I'm not sure exactly where it was, where they were, they were actually FBI agents with her, showing her, taking her to like to different routes to their vacation home of when, which was part of the plot and everything. I mean, she was part of not just the threat part, but I mean, they actually kind of built a case with her knowing all about this.
They just said, wait. wasted time.
Yeah.
With these, like Michael and I were talking about, like these just regular ding dong folks, right? Just people.
No, they were
never going to do anything anyways.
You know, they were gun enthusiasts.
Not to say they weren't upset about.
No, not to say they weren't upset about the, you know, a lot of this came from like COVID restrictions and everything.
Right,
Because
right.
I mean,
Michigan's been known for their militias.
They put, are they? Is it the sense where they stop the crime way before it happens? Like they're trying to not have it go down this rabbit hole, so they think by doing this they're solving the problem.
No, I think they actually triggered some action.
I'm just like, what's the point of this? Why would they do? I guess maybe I'm too rationally. There is no point, right? That's
Right.
why you guys are so like angry. You're like, I know.
No, and I mean,
Well, the thing is, without the FBI getting involved and doing what they did, the people never were going to the governor's mansion, never going to do a damn thing to the governor.
Right.
And probably there's no
How
reason
far
to
did the
think
men
they were
go
ever
with
going
this?
to think about violence toward the governor.
How far were they going with this?
I believe they triggered some action so they
Preparing
could
to-
make the arrest.
They stirred up action.
No.
So it's almost like they
Yeah.
bullied them into.
No, they triggered
further?
put things in motion to get going. And like we're gonna go get her. Like
FBI did.
yeah,
and then swung into arrest. Right.
yeah, to kind of push these people. They had informants and FBI
We're gonna go do
agents.
something. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
exactly. There were
All right, you guys go ahead. We'll guard the cars.
FBI agents
god! No,
that
you've been
were-
screwed when.
pushing these people to do these things and talk about these things. I mean, a lot of it wasn't even actions. It was just talking about it. It wasn't even actions. It was talking about doing it.
This is insane, y'all. For a person
It's
who's like
just
doesn't really care and
blows
like
me
being
away.
viewed it, that's insane.
It's crazy when you hear stories about how they do it to a minor who is special needs minor. They made contact online and then radicalized the kid who
Right.
didn't really
yeah.
wasn't thinking well to start with.
The
but
higher
they
grounds,
radicalized it and turned him into a terrorist. You
the
know,
higher
just-
grounds movie plot.
I'm not sure.
Higher grounds. Was it higher grounds or was it? It's the college movie. That's awful.
Is it modern?
No, it's from the 90s. It's where the black kids
sexy.
and white kids are fighting, and then the
Oh, the movie Higher Ground. Higher
yeah.
Grounds.
Omar Epps in it, I think. And,
Yeah, but that wasn't radicalized the same way. This guy was in person among peers.
Think that they, you know, this is all stems from that wonderful piece of legislation called the Patriot Act.
Patriot Act, right?
Yeah, we're all patriots. We're all gonna stop terrorists.
And now they're
now
just
they build terrorists
they're being,
to arrest them to make sure that they get money to arrest them.
It's like we're not like episode.
The Patriot Act had a sunset and a rewrite so many times. Even the initial purpose of the Patriot Act isn't what it was because it's just been bastardized. And we'll do what we want to do, and you'll be okay with it.
So if we
Right.
could go back in time, would that be one of those things that would change America dramatically into a different type of America? You know, like if it didn't happen.
Yeah, you know,
How much do you think that affected everything of how we do our business
I
and
think
live our lives?
I think it's it's hard
Or do we do it in spite of?
I wonder how bad the media would have gone after W had 9/11 not happened. Because you know,
Right.
they just tore Trump apart. I mean, it was just obvious they were not on his side, but it was starting off that way with Bush. I mean, there were just more caricatures and basically degrading things about him. You know, bumper stickers and what have you.
Yeah.
Until
Right.
9/11,
Right.
and then we had a Texan in charge.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we,
right.
we had a cowboy with revolvers. You know?
America.
Yeah.
God. I remember looking at a picture of Landstuhl, Germany, where I lived as a kid during Nazi realm, and what it looked like with their patriotism, right? Flags everywhere, and just how it was just draped in the swastika. And then I looked at a picture of downtown Anchorage draped in the flag of America, and it was different flags, different things, but it was just very striking.
Yeah. This
How deep, when you go that deep, that's just very never safe to go that deep.
this little thing right here says it all. It says it goes back to feeding the beast, allowing people to get headlines and funding.
That's
It's
the thing.
about headlines and
Headlines
funding.
and funding. Okay, so they boiled
if-
down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
And I can. Yeah,
it goes
that's
all the
right.
way to the top. So there was a shooting a few weeks ago in Florida, and it was some racist bigot person.
Mhm.
But then the sheriff gets a call from Biden, who just all he talks about is how let's see what it says. TK Waters says after a racially motivated shooting in the city, President Joe Biden called him and talked about white supremacy being the most dangerous domestic terrorist threat.
I don't think
And the
that's
chief
the most
didn't say
domestic
anything.
terrorist threat.
I didn't say anything. My silence was very telling, is what the
As in he
chief
held his
said.
tongue.
Yeah, no, as he didn't say anything. He just sat there and listened and said,
Wow.
"All right." But I mean, that's what that's the whole narrative.
I
now.
think
That's the
Russia
whole
and
thing.
China and North Korea might be bigger threats to domestic terrorism than.
I think most people want to just live their damn life. That's all we want to do is live our life. And
I would say the
and-
general
it-
Joe would agree.
It seems pretty weird that they're picking the largest demographic to say are the bad guys.
right?
When all
we
else
wanna do is
fails,
just
blame
live our
white
life.
males.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have no trouble finding one.
No, you don't. Remember in the
Right?
NICU, they always said that the white males were the last to ever actually graduate.
Yeah.
And there was like a saying, like it was mean, but it was like
White boy.
wimpy white boy. It was WWB. So when we
In
went
the what
to
now?
so when we went to the NICU, when we had Benji,
Okay.
and there 19 days it took for him to graduate the NICU. And during that time, all these other babies were like, getting through and stuff. And they were telling us, this is medical information, that it's oftentimes Black females are the quickest to graduate from the NICU, and then it's white females, and then it's Black males, Asian males, and the lowest is the white males. It takes the white males the longest to graduate the NICU.
Oh, wow.
Just
Wow.
statistically. And so you're just like, it's very interesting. So they lovingly refer to it as a wimpy white boy. When my white boys can't make it, then come on, baby. And I just, I'm like, have they been bred to be lazier than the others or something? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Right?
But yeah, he's not wimpy anymore. He's huge.
Oh, yeah. No,
It's interesting. Very, very surprising.
No, that's interesting. But yeah, I mean that's so that's back to this whole thing. That was a big the whole governor of Michigan thing was a
That's
huge
insane.
influence on my thoughts in writing the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, you almost, again, it's like when you are a good American, you must respond in a way that makes you sleep at night. You have to, if you can do something, you should do something.
No,
And so
exactly.
that's why it's so important that I think this show comes out, because it's ready to be.
I mean, we got
We're ready
so
to-
many
Are you
things.
are you allowed to stand up for people from Michigan, given that you're from Ohio?
That's a good question.
I guess you're out of state right now, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Michigan
Where's-
people?
I don't know very much about the lower 48
Yeah.
or all the different states.
You didn't even know what a Uber is.
I don't know nothing.
I mean, yeah, Michigan. They're
I saw Congressman Jim Jordan one time as he's interviewing witness before his committee or whatever, and he's trying to get the guy to answer as he's stalling, and he mentions his basically his biography, whatever. Yeah, looking at your career, except for a degree from Michigan, I don't see anything else you've done wrong.
Yeah,
Aw,
that's awesome.
cute little poke.
So the other thing I had, the big news this week was another governor of New Mexico decided that
Holy cow!
that,
Wow, ma'am, have you read it? It's the second one.
that the Constitution doesn't really matter, that executives can just make stuff up because it's an emergency.
Apparently,
This is COVID. This is the COVID thing where they say, okay, now this is an emergency. So now law-abiding citizens cannot carry a gun, concealed or open carried, even though it's a law in New Mexico that they can.
Right.
But because too many people have been shot recently, it's an emergency now, and those people, but she even admits that no, it's not going to. It's
going to fail at judicial review.
The people that are shooting each other
Aren't going to
aren't
respect
going to
this.
respect this.
Yeah, no.
It's just going to affect
The people who are going to be
the
shot by
right.
bad people.
She also admits that it's going to fail at judicial review.
Oh, it already has.
Yeah. Oh, as
So in her statement, when because a federal judge, because there were multiple people that said no, and immediately took this to court. Right, immediately filed suit against this, and so go here and look at it.
oh, good.
Michael, let's see.
I hadn't heard this had already gone.
Oh yeah. So in the National Association for Gun Rights and Foster Allen Haynes versus Michelle Lujan Grisham as the governor of New Mexico. And then we have some other plaintiffs.
Is her
And
oath of
plaintiffs,
office?
and this judge, who is the judge? Let's get the judge's name. The Honorable David Herrera Urias, United States District Judge. And he has
Sounds like a judge.
plaintiffs have established the likelihood of success on the merits. Plaintiffs have shown a likelihood of success on the merits that their Second and 14th Amendment rights to publicly carry a firearm self-defense will be violated if the PHO remains in effect. So he basically agreed that yes, they have standing. This thing is ridiculous.
And I don't even need a jury.
Yep. We don't need a jury. I'm going to go ahead and offer this. Put a block on it, basically. We're going to block it until,
But yeah, she's going to keep it from being enforced, but the case goes forward.
Right. And a lot of
Everyone might
folks,
still win. Who knows?
I think this is purposeful, and I've heard this argument multiple times too throughout the week, that this is a purposeful thing. And we can go back and look at her statement, but this is it's a test. It's a test of how far
they can go.
Going back to the COVID emergency.
Yes.
When they took they suspended a lot of people's rights on assembly and business and basically took a lot of First Amendment rights away.
Yes, they did.
And said that a liquor store is fine, but a church is not.
Yep.
Yep. And so
marijuana is fine, but your small business is not.
I mean, one of the things I wanted to talk about, the governor of Michigan came out and said that department stores like Lowe's or stuff could stay open, but you can't buy seeds. You could not buy seeds. And I gotta look this up for you because let's see.
Because people congregate at the seed bank, where the seeds are.
Oh my God!
And it didn't take long for her to rescind that.
You're so stupid.
Buying seeds. Michigan bans many stores from selling seeds, calling them not necessary. So people can't
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
grow
You
your
could
own
grow
damn
your own
food.
damn food
Holy
during
shit.
COVID.
Because those were not
Those were not necessary. I mean,
Oh my
steps.
Bronze fires
Ah.
becoming a normal home
But the
garden
bronze fire
off as more and more
is quickly becoming a
yeah,
normal home
Michigan,
gardening
stores been
gardening
barred from selling
taking
seeds,
off as
soil,
stores have been
potted plants.
barred from selling seeds, soil,
Right.
potted plants,
Michigan Governor
supplies.
Greenwich ordered all stores
Michigan
larger
Governor
than 50,000
Greenwich
square
ordered
feet,
all stores
cordon
larger
off
than
their
50,000 square
garden
feet,
centers,
cordon off their garden
block
centers, plant nurseries, block customers shopping in those sections.
You're not buying food or
You're not buying food or medicine, or
Not be going to the store.
not be going to the store.
is not seeds food. Right? I'm like, this is insane.
Exactly.
This is insane.
I mean, this is the level of just power that these people
That they
wanted,
reached
right?
for that, yeah.
that they reached for.
Sunflower seeds.
Right?
Yes,
And
it does,
so-
Michael. Yes,
So
it does.
this thing from New Mexico was another test to see, okay, can I get away with this?
One thing about
and other people are looking at it.
here's what I get away with. Does Oklahoma's oath of office for governor take something about execute the laws of?
Right.
So how do we answer back when they do this? When they test us like this, how do we
Well, the
answer back?
three system of government thing is you go to courts, and this is where it works.
Okay,
Right.
this is what we do.
You go to court, you go out because people went out and protested with
You're
their
allowed to do
guns.
that too.
Right? They took their guns, and the sheriffs didn't. They said, "We're not going to enforce this."
Thank God.
A lot of the sheriff's office, a lot of the law enforcement.
You're not gonna make us do
recognized
this,
that this was completely.
You mean the ones who took their oath?
Yeah. Yeah. So the governor's statement was today a judge temporarily blocked sections of our public health order. There were other sections of this order that they didn't block because it made sense. But the gun thing was the biggest part of it that got blocked. But recognize the significant problem of gun violence in this state. I refuse to be resigned on the status quo, and I will never stop fighting to prevent other families from enduring these tragedies. What does that?
We
even
don't
mean?
want bad people to shoot good people either.
Well, how do you do something
Shit,
about
man.
gang violence?
None of us want that. We want people to have rational choices, and
Yeah, no one's rooting for drive-bys.
no, you don't want parents to be
Not even gun owners, you know.
not locked on their guns or not put their guns in gun safe
Right.
and have access to their children or angry relatives who have mental issues. We don't want that.
No.
Fuck.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's again a weak ass statement.
And I mean, nobody wants that. But I mean, taking away people's
Ability to protect
defend
themselves from when that happens, when
Right.
you don't lock your shit and Uncle Crazy is trying to shoot me,
Mhm.
I'm gonna shoot Uncle Crazy. It's gonna happen. And I'm gonna have to live with that. And then my life is gonna be affected. So it's just this continual like, I don't want to do these things either. I don't want to see these things. So how do we fix it?
Right.
Let's fix it.
exactly.
Get a
And,
law.
I mean,
What if
we
you know?
need to
What if
enforce the
the
law? I mean, a
what
lot
if-
of places aren't enforcing the laws that are on the books right now. They're not. They're just
Things
letting
like-
go.
Well, a lot of times they hear officers refer to making a decision between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. Yeah, this is where he's not pulling you over for going, 75 and a 70.
Right.
right?
You start going 79, 80 and a 70.
Well,
draws guys'
And
attention.
a lot of these DAs aren't arresting people. They're pulling over people. They're taking guns off of them, and then the DAs are letting them go and not charging them with gun crimes.
Yeah.
They took their gun.
I mean, that's happening in most of the big cities.
They
Are
just stole
not
their gun.
not enforcing the laws. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Shit.
a lot of times those are stolen guns.
Oh, okay.
anyway,
I'm sorry.
so-
I'm like, that's expensive.
I mean, they're taking away guns from like felons
Oh,
and,
okay,
and
okay,
gang
okay, okay.
members.
You know,
Sorry.
you know,
But
it's
then
great.
they're not charging them.
Are they returning the stolen property to the rightful owner, assuming they reported it stolen? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I mean, sometimes, yeah, but
I
not-
doubt that. Oh,
Yeah.
I bet you they're going in the crusher.
Yeah,
The
And then,
culture?
and then the owner's not even notified that their property was recovered.
no, I bet you're right.
They
Right,
destroy. Is that what they do? They don't
especially places like
stockpile it. They
Chicago.
destroy.
What do they got? Their locker would be full of them by now.
Oh, exactly.
They got to do something with them. They could try and sell them, but the government doesn't want to get caught selling guns.
Send them to Ukraine.
Right? Seriously, box them to Ukraine.
Yeah, give them all the high points.
Ukraine needs all the weapons.
Give them all the high points they've confiscated.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Joey, high points like the worst gun maker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
if you
okay.
want. Yeah, they sometimes work.
Yeah.
Oh, that is nuts.
You know, you hear an article about like a preschooler making a gun sign, and then all this stuff happening. Do you know how
Oh,
many?
man,
Do you know how many kids I saw shoot each other at school? All of them.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's just a normal thing. It's like these things that people too extreme. They happen all the
I
time.
remember poor deaf kid got in trouble because him signing his name when he came up, with his own signature, what have you. What he did to make the sign was close enough to a gun
Oh, my
Uh-huh.
goodness.
for whatever reason. But he's in a special needs class because he's deaf in sign
Uh-huh.
language, and his sign for his name. And
This isn't gonna harm you.
So there was a kid, and this has been quite a few years ago, but he made his Pop-Tart look like a
Oh, yeah,
gun.
that was ridiculous, too.
Trouble.
Or you mean he like bit off a quarter of it and
I didn't
So it was
notice it
shaped
looked
like
like a
an
gun
L?
that was playing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
like
see.
you would.
And the judge, wait, what? All right, now we gotta look at this.
Oh wow.
Judge upholds suspension of the Pop-Tart gun kid.
that's a pretty good.
Remember
I
the
was going to
Pop-Tart
watch
gun
them for it.
kid? Breakfast, not actually Pop-Tarts. In the shape of a weapon, pretending to fire at a classmate. Held his, so,
Is that a bad judge?
I mean, and this was 2016.
Oh my god. Wow.
I mean, I assumed that his gun was something like this one.
Oh.
He was a little close. He was a little closer to actual.
Right.
So you've seen kids like been
Yeah.
at school the whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all I'm gonna do is point to them and go, no, thank you. Turn around, focus on what we're doing. You know, they're not gonna.
Right.
There's no threat of like. Well, I've seen terrible things where kids have done to each other. So this is not necessarily gonna
No,
get anything going, unless that kid has held you down, saying, "I'm going to kill you after school," and then it's doing this as a,
But remember to compliment them on the trigger discipline if they're doing it right.
Yeah.
On target, on trigger, off target, off trigger.
Finger off the trigger
Yeah.
unless you're gonna.
Ready was dead. And with 2 more minutes, how are we going to close this session?
Oh, well, we could tell them about the emergency pickaxe or
We could. Well, so we're going
We
to
have
be
an
getting some
emergency
filming
pickaxe?
done this week, and we want you
for
to
melee
get
use
into
only.
that. And
Yeah, we're gonna plan some filming time this week, and so we're gonna at least start getting some stage areas ready and stuff. So
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
I think we're due to do that. So hopefully we'll have some good news on that front next Friday or Saturday, Saturday, whenever we decide to do this.
Right.
Hopefully Friday.
Hopefully.
But yeah, that's been our week. I think.
Yeah, I think so. We're going to have a great week and get a lot of. The fall is happening here in Alaska, so
it
it's
is.
transition month, and that means a lot of us have to, just switch everything from summer to winter and get ready for 8 months of awesome.
8 months of awesome.
Nicest 8 months out of the year.
Yep,
Winter.
Oh yeah.
it's consistent. It's cold and dark. That's nice. You can always count on it.
I like layers.
I like winter. All right, there we go. No.
Yeah. All right, Michael.
Yeah, dude.
Any parting words?
No, we got being Saturday now. We got welcoming the Baltimoreans in the morning, so that's exciting.
Yep. Go Bengals.
Yeah.
Who did?
I had I have a sports question to ask.
Oh,
Nah, let it go.
okay.
Nah.
Done.
What's
No, I was trying to remember. I barely remember it now.
that? Okay.
All
I
right.
just
All
think
right.
like an hour ago when we started.
There
Night.
they
Good night.
will.
We'll see you next time. I'll be back. I'll watch some more Constitution next week. too.
Yeah.
I didn't do Friday because I was not feeling good.
Yep.
But I did do Thursday. I did do 3 of them. last
Okay,
week.
3 of them.
So
I was
got
about to ask them.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So
Very
we're up-
nice.
We are up to the 23rd amendment. So we got 4 more amendments to do. And then we'll keep
okay.
going on some other stuff. So I got some other stuff planned after we get through all the amendments. So,
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
Jerry, so
everybody.
sweet.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye. Good night.
Right. Like I said, we got 4 more minutes.
Okay.